the same outfit as the end of last week's video, how passé. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another recipe video. And today, as promised, I'm making another Malaysian Kuih. Because yes, I'm still in Malaysia, so I am coming to you from the past. Pre-made this video so I could relax a little bit while on holiday. And as you can hear, they are still drilling. And as I mentioned in my last video, because I've been working so hard to pre-produce videos so I can have a little bit of a break while on holiday, I've been making two things in one go. So I made last week's Kuih and this week's Kuih at the same time. Hence the quick costume change in the last video. So last week's Kuih was Kuih talam, this week's Kuih is Kuih Seri Muka. Now while the main ingredient of last week's Kuih was whole Kuih flour mixed together with tapioca flour and rice flour, and with Kuih Seri Muka the two layers are made out of a sticky rice layer where you're using whole sticky rice, whole glutinous rice, and it's often mixed with blue pea flour tea which dyes it a really beautiful blue colour. Actually last time I made it I did it in a blue layer and a white layer, but most of the time it's mixed up and sometimes no pea flour tea is used at all, so it's just a white rice layer. And then on top of the glutinous rice layer you have a lovely pandan custard which has eggs in it as well, so it's like a proper custard. So although the two different Kuih look quite similar in the fact that they have two different layers of colour, the main ingredient is actually a little bit different. Although the common ingredient in both of them, of course, as with most Kuihs, is coconut milk. And of course pandan to flavour it. Again, just like the last Kuih, this is a super simple recipe. The main bother about it is just having to cook it for a long time and then wait for it to cool down. That takes the most time actually because it's so dense, it takes ages to cool. But once you do that, slice it up and eat it and enjoy. So with that in mind, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. Let's start by making a nice cup of tea. Blue pea flour tea in fact. I have a blue pea flour tea bag here, but you can also use it in dry flour form. And I'm going to add 100 millilitres of fresh off the boil water. Let's give it a little bit of a jiggle. Oh, see how blue it's turning. This is going to be very, very, very dark blue, which is exactly what we want. And I'm going to set this aside. Next, we're going to sort out the rice layer. So I've got 400 grams of glutinous rice here, which I've actually rinsed 3 times and then completely drained. So this has absorbed a tiny little bit of water. I'm going to sprinkle over a tablespoonful of sugar. This is just caster sugar. Half a teaspoonful of salt. Next I have 200 millilitres of thick, full-fat coconut milk. And I'm also going to add 200 millilitres of water. Give it a bit of a shake to even the rice out. Lastly, I'm going to pop in a fresh pandan leaf. I'm going to shred it a little bit, just to make sure it releases all of the goodness. Give it a bit of a knotting, so it's not too long for the pot. That will do. Just pop it in, and now I'm going to cook this in my rice cooker. You can steam it for half an hour as well, but I'm going to use the rice cooker because it's a bit easier, and that will take about 30 minutes as well, depending on your model. Now with our rice cooked, let's get rid of the pandan leaf, and we're going to randomly sprinkle our blue flour tea all over. Now we're going to give it a quick fluff up. There we go, there's no need to be exact by the way, part of the charm is the patchiness. In fact, last time I made this I made it in 2 layers, a solid white layer and a solid blue layer, but this time I'm mixing it up a bit. Now what we need to do is get that in a pan. This is an 8 by 8 inch square pan which I have greased with oil and lined with some kitchen foil. And I'm going to tightly pack the rice right into the bottom. There we go, we've made sure it's nice and tightly packed down. Now we need to make the topping, which is the pandan custard. First we're going to beat up 3 eggs. Give it a good whisk. I'm also going to add 150 grams of caster sugar, and I also have 2 tablespoonfuls of corn flour and half a tablespoonful of tapioca flour. And this will help make the custard really nice and thick. Now I'm going to add 200 millilitres of thick coconut milk, so I'm using up the rest of that was in the can. 200 millilitres of evaporated milk. I tripped over my words there. Brain malfunctioned. Now I'm going to put about half a teaspoon to a teaspoonful of pandan paste. And that is our custard topping done. Before we layer this on our rice though, we need to cook it, just until it gets a little bit thick. And the reason why we want to do that is to help stop it from bubbling up when it's steaming and getting lots of bubble holes. So hopefully this will help it maintain a really smooth, shiny top. So we are just about there, and you can see it has thickened to a sort of pourable custard consistency, and we're going to stop right there. Now pour this over the rice. So here we have our rice, we're gently pouring it straight over. Let's give it a few taps because we don't want any air bubbles under there. And now we are going to steam this for 45 minutes. It's been 45 minutes. Now, unfortunately, about halfway through, I noticed that the cloth that I wrap around the lid to stop condensation from dripping down into the cake had dipped down a bit and was touching the surface of the cake, so that's why it's a little bit wrinkly on this side, but nice and smooth on this side. But luckily, I caught it in time, and I did manage to yank it back out. So now this is cooked, I'm going to rescue it, and all we have to do now is wait until it comes to room temperature. So let's free up our room temperature cools down kuih. Let's peel away the sides. Ooh, very nice. And let's cut it. There you go. I also need to knock the edges a little bit, which you don't have to do. I ate the spare parts, by the way, and let's take a look at one slice. Wow, absolutely gorgeous. I love that mottled blue running through the rice. Oh my goodness, these are just so pretty. Look at them. Sticky rice cake fans, you are going to love this. Just look at that lovely bouncy texture. Creamy custard too. I absolutely love the mottled blue and white rice effect. It's kind of like clouds. And the green pandan custard on top is kind of like grass. It's like a reverse meadow. Sky is on the bottom, grass is on the top. The fragrance of the coconut milk and the pandan are killing me. Alright, I'm going to have a bite. Cheers! The chewy, sticky tenderness of that glutinous rice is absolutely perfect. And of course you have the smooth set custard on top, which provides a really lovely sweet smooth contrast to that sticky rice, which has a little bit of texture to it. That is good. Possibly a close second favourite to Kuih Talam last week. Although I really love Kuih Lapis too, the layered one. If you've tried several Kuih before, let me know down in the comments which one is your favourite, by the way. Have they finally stopped drilling? I'm going to go enjoy this with another cup of tea now. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you will join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, and find me on Instagram. I am tashcakes.tastes. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you guys next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. And today, and